I had barely tightened the last screw on my new smart lock when the sirens came wailing down the street, and I swear for a second I thought someone must have had a heart attack until I saw Karen in that infamous pink tracksuit sprinting across my lawn, phone in hand, shrieking like she just caught me robbing the place instead of, screwing around with my own pool gate. "He's locking people out of the community pool," she was yelling into her phone, waving her arm like she was directing traffic. That's when it hit me. She'd actually called 911 on me for putting a smart lock on my pool fence. Meanwhile, she was the one trespassing in my yard. Even the birds on the old oak went quiet, just watching, probably wondering if they should intervene or just grab some popcorn. I'll tell you, I stayed calm mostly because I'd learned the hard way. If you let Karen make a scene, she'll dig her own hole. The sheriff's cruiser pulled up and the deputy stepped out. That tired, I can't believe I get paid for this look on his face. My day was already shaping up to be one of those stories neighbors retell for years over barbecue. Just that morning, I'd been feeling good, proud even. I'd finally finished installing this high-tech pool security system synced to my phone, automatic lock, motion sensors, the works. With all the random trespassers, lately kids sneaking in, a neighbor's Labrador taking dips like it owned the place, I figured the smart lock was the answer. Never thought my biggest trespasser would be the HOA president herself. Karen Queen of Maple Creek, self-appointed enforcer of all things aesthetic. Last week she'd barged in to critique my pool umbrella for being, in her words, too festive. This time she saw my new lock from her kitchen window and charged over like she was leading a SWAT raid. "Sir, is there a problem here?" the sheriff asked, stepping out, hand hovering over his belt. Karen points at me like she's unmasking a fugitive. "Yes, officer. He's putting an unauthorized electronic lock on community property. That pool is shared." The sheriff looked at me, then back at her. I handed him my deed, all highlighted and ready. "Private pool, private fence, all on my land." Karen's face twitched, but she tried to recover. "He's endangering children. What if they get trapped inside?" The sheriff squinted. "Inside what?" "His own pool." I almost lost it. The officer's face said he'd been here before. As he went to check the fence, Karen marched right past him, uninvited, yanking at the gate like she was hoping it had come off in her hand, only to set off the alarm. This sharp little beep echoed across the yard, and Karen jumped back like she'd touched an electric wire. "See? It's aggressive!" she screamed. The sheriff, rubbing his temples, just looked at her. "Ma'am, you do realize you're the one trespassing right now?" She opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. Nothing came out but more phone waving. "This is a community concern," she insisted. "You can't just put dangerous technology on shared structures." I held my ground. "Karen, this fence has been mine since I moved in. The HOA's never paid for it, never maintained it. But if you want to help repaint, I'll let you choose the color." The sheriff tried not to laugh. Karen glared at both of us and declared, "Technology is dividing people. It's supposed to connect us," I said. "Well, you're here, aren't you?" The sheriff snorted. Karen tried to get the officer to issue a citation. For what he asked, private property improvements. That just fueled her fire. "I'm calling the HOA lawyer," she barked. "Please do," I said. "Maybe they can explain how you ended up inside my fence." The sheriff asked me to demo the lock, fingerprint access, emergency override, meets all safety codes. He nodded. "This is safer than most." Karen tried. "No electronics on fences. It's an aesthetic issue," I replied. "If your aesthetic depends on my fence, we've got a different problem." The sheriff actually laughed, then coughed to hide it. Karen, desperate, pretended to trip so she could hang around longer and landed right in my flower bed, flattening my tulips. I offered her a hand. She slapped it away, muttering about emergency HOA meetings, and stormed off. The sheriff turned to me. "You got cameras?" "Plenty," I said. "Keep them rolling. This isn't the end." And he was right. That night I checked my phone. The smart lock had logged 2 failed access attempts at 8:07 a.m., both denied. Karen had already tried to break in before the cops came. That meant trespass caught on record. I grinned. I had a feeling her next move would be public and probably hilarious. Next morning, flyers in every mailbox, emergency HOA meeting, unauthorized security devices. The whole neighborhood was buzzing. She called the cops again. What happened with the pool? You know, the kind of suburban theater. I mean, everyone slowing down to walk the dog, hoping for details. I couldn't resist showing up at that meeting just to see what drama would go down. The clubhouse stank of burnt coffee and overwaxed wood. Karen, front and center in a power blazer, tapping her pen like a gavel. We are here to address a dangerous and divisive issue. I almost laughed out loud. She pointed at me, courtroom style. This resident has installed unauthorized technology on a fence bordering shared HOA property. I raised my hand. Karen, it's not shared. It borders my pool. Gasps, whispers. She ignored me. What if a child wanders in and can't open the gate? What if there's an emergency? I let her finish then. That's why I installed it. This exceeds code. It bounced off her like a tennis ball. It's unnecessary technology, she snapped. From the back, old Gus called. Yeah, so are smartphones banned those too? The board secretary checked my highlighted bylaws. HOA only governs shared or visible property, not private safety devices. This appears accurate, she admitted quietly. Karen furious. These rules are outdated. We'll amend them. You can't amend retroactively to punish one resident, I said. That's not governance, that's a vendetta. Murmurs side eyes. She pivoted. This is about community image. No one wants to live in a fortress neighborhood, I replied. Nobody's buying property based on my pool fence, Karen. And if they are, they probably don't want you scaling it at night. Laughter louder this time, even from the board treasurer. Karen slammed her binder shut. It's a violation of collective aesthetic. You saying my lock is ugly, it's offensive to who burglars? Now the meeting was half debate, half comedy. Rumors about her trespassing had already leaked the sheriff's report, the body cam clip, you name it. Karen cornered, shouted lies. I was investigating a safety hazard. Someone called from the back. At 2 a.m. with no shoes. Roaring laughter. She banged her pen. Enough. But no one left. I decided to twist the knife. Under HOA Code 7C, emergency meetings are open if policy changes are discussed. Closing it is a violation. The vice president coughed. He's correct. Karen, stunned, forced a vote on requiring pre-approval for smart locks. Only 2 others raised their hands. The motion failed. She muttered, "This isn't over." The secretary softly adjourned the meeting. I could feel it wasn't the last act. Gus patted my shoulder. "Next time, install a motion turret." I laughed, but honestly, I was uneasy. Karen thrived on control and losing it in public. That had to sting. Sure enough, that night she was outside her house furiously texting, face lit up by her screen. I found a text on my phone. You think you're clever. You've made enemies. No name but pure Karen. Then a drone buzzed over my backyard. I filmed it. The smart lock logged unauthorized scan attempt, and I knew she was escalating. The more stunts she pulled, the more evidence I collected. She was building my case for me. Within days, the HOA Safety Patrol started cruising by golf carts with magnetic stickers, fake uniforms recording my lock. When my kids tried to swim, one patrol guy shouted, "You need HOA approval to use a locked pool." I realized this wasn't just about me. They were trying to scare my whole family. That night, I filed a county complaint, 15 photos, 5 videos, a stack of notices. The county said they'd investigate. Karen kept pushing, fake inspectors, bogus letters, patrols. Each inspection was captured on camera. One guy got spooked by the alarm, fell in the grass, and Gus texted, "Best thing I've seen all week." Karen, seeing her power slip, doubled down. But now the board was nervous. Linda and another member quietly handed me receipts showing Karen had paid the inspector with HOA funds. That was fraud, plain and simple. It all came to a head one night. I saw someone, Karen, in her bathrobe, slippers, flashlight in hand, creeping around my pool gate. She tried to hack the lock again. The alarm blared, security lights flashed, and Deputy Harris rolled up fighting a smile. "We really have to stop meeting like this," he said. Karen, still in her robe, screaming about community safety. Harris finally said, "Ma'am, you need to leave, or get cited for disorderly conduct." Two cruisers' neighbors filming Karen's meltdown caught on camera. It was glorious. Next day, the body cam footage went viral. The county opened a formal audit, frozen funds, confiscated receipts, real lawyers called in. Karen tried mass emails, legal threats, and even faked a county letter, but the board turned on her. Linda became acting president. Karen was officially suspended pending removal. I thought it might finally be over until I caught another attempt to breach my security system. This time, I called Harris, and he got a warrant. The fake inspector's payments traced right back to the HOA account Karen had funded illegal surveillance with community money. Fraud charges followed. When the county held their big meeting, the turnout was huge. The auditor listed Karen's misdeeds from misappropriating funds to trespassing in her slippers. Deputy Harris delivered the citation for fraud and harassment in front of everyone. As Karen stormed out, the place erupted applause, high fives, Gus handing out lemonade, even the mailman smiling. The months after her arrest felt like waking up in a new place. No threats, no fake violations, just peace. The new HOA sent out a newsletter, community rebuild underway. People started chatting again. Dogs barked. The couple who bought Karen's house had no idea the war that had been waged on their front porch. The smart lock was still there, blinking quietly, a silent witness to it all. Linda dropped by with a community transparency report, breakdowns, project proposals, feedback forms. "We're doing it right this time," she said. I believed her. Even the sheriff sent a letter thanking me for exposing the fraud. Gus kept joking. I should frame it. Hero of the HOA uprising, he called me. The park filled up on weekends, the first peace pool party, a riot of laughter, barbecue, and little padlock cupcakes. Neighbors would ask, "How'd you do it?" Honestly, I just documented everything, stayed calm, let logic and technology do the talking, and maybe got a little lucky with a body cam or two. But the truth is, it wasn't just my win. It was the neighborhood's. We learned the hard way power without purpose only breeds chaos. Now we've got peace, and the only thing locked down is the quiet, safe life we all wanted in the first place. So let me ask, where do you draw the line between protecting your home and letting someone else's pride run the show? Have you ever stood up to power gone wild? Drop your stories below. Tell me where you're watching from. And don't forget subscribe if you think common sense should win sometimes. Because in this neighborhood, we finally proved it can.